Procrastination. We've all been there, right? Sitting down to work only to get distracted or overwhelmed, putting off tasks that we know are important. But what if I told you that the most powerful tool to beat procrastination isn't a new gadget or technique? It's an ancient philosophy that's over 2 millennia old: Stoicism. The wisdom of the Stoics can be the key to overcoming procrastination and transforming your life. Today, we're going to dive into some timeless Stoic strategies that you can use to defeat procrastination forever. So without further ado, let's begin. Before we jump into the techniques, we need to grasp the basic principles of Stoicism that will guide us. Stoicism revolves around a few key ideas that are crucial when it comes to beating procrastination: the dichotomy of control. One of the central teachings of Stoicism is the dichotomy of control. This means recognizing what we can control and what we can't. When we procrastinate, we often stress about things beyond our control, like the outcome of a project or what others will think. But by focusing on the things we can control, like our effort, attitude, and actions, we can let go of the anxiety that holds us back. For example, I used to avoid starting tasks because I worried about whether people would like my work. But once I embraced the dichotomy of control, I realized that while I can't control others' reactions, I can control how much effort I put into the work. This shift helped me get started and stay productive. Virtuous action. The Stoics believed that living a virtuous life, one guided by wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, was the path to happiness. When we procrastinate, we're often not acting in alignment with these virtues. Instead of delaying, try reframing tasks as opportunities to practice these virtues. For example, starting a tough assignment can become a chance to practice courage and wisdom. Living in the present moment. Procrastination often comes from dwelling on past failures or worrying about future outcomes. But the Stoics emphasize living in the present. By bringing our focus to the now, we can stop overthinking and start doing. This practice can help you take that crucial first step, no matter how small. Negative visualization. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, or negative visualization, where they would imagine the worst-case scenario. By facing your fears directly, you often realize they're not as bad as you think, which lowers anxiety and encourages action. Practical Stoic techniques to beat procrastination. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's explore some actionable techniques from Stoicism to help you stop procrastinating for good. Number 1. Break tasks into small parts. When a task feels too big or overwhelming, it's easy to push it off. The Stoics understood the importance of taking small, manageable steps. If you're staring at a mountain of work, try breaking it down into bite-sized tasks. For instance, instead of viewing a lengthy project as one huge goal, divide it into sections. Start with something simple, like writing just one paragraph or organizing your notes. You might even set a timer for 10 minutes to focus on that task. You'll be surprised at how much easier it is to get started when you reduce the enormity of the task into smaller, achievable actions. Number 2. Use negative visualization to ease anxiety. Are you worried about failing at a task? Try practicing negative visualization by imagining the worst possible outcome. This Stoic technique can help ease the pressure and anxiety surrounding tasks. For example, if you're dreading a presentation, think about what could go wrong. Maybe you forget your lines or your slides glitch. By mentally preparing for these scenarios, they often lose their power. You'll realize that even if the worst happens, it's usually manageable. This shift in mindset helps you approach your tasks with more confidence and less fear, allowing you to focus on the steps you can take to succeed rather than on what might go wrong. Number 3. Create urgency with memento mori. The phrase memento mori translates to remember you will die, and while it may sound grim, it serves an important purpose: creating urgency. Life is fleeting, and procrastination can rob you of precious moments you won't get back. By adopting this mindset, you remind yourself that every minute counts. Use this awareness to motivate yourself to tackle tasks you've been putting off. Whether it's finishing a project or spending time with loved ones, recognize that time is limited. This technique encourages you to prioritize what truly matters and to take action now, rather than waiting for a better time that may never come. Number 4. Practice mindfulness and present moment awareness. Whenever you catch yourself procrastinating, take a moment to pause and ask, what's happening right now? Instead of avoiding the task at hand, bring your awareness back to the present moment. Notice the thoughts and feelings that are making you hesitate. By observing your mental state without judgment, you gain control over your reactions. This mindfulness practice helps you identify distractions and redirect your attention back to what matters. Instead of being overwhelmed by the entire task, focus on one small step you can take right now. By grounding yourself in the present, you can break the cycle of procrastination and move forward with clarity. Number 5. Reflect on your values and long-term goals. Procrastination often thrives when we lose sight of why a task matters. To combat this, take a moment to reflect on how the task aligns with your personal values and long-term goals. For example, if you're delaying a school project, remind yourself that completing it brings you closer to gaining knowledge or achieving a future aspiration. Connecting your tasks to your core values can reignite your motivation and give you a sense of purpose. By understanding the bigger picture and how each task contributes to your overall journey, you're more likely to find the drive to start and finish the tasks you've been avoiding. Number 6. Practice self-compassion. Lastly, it's important to remember that Stoicism isn't about being hard on yourself. When you catch yourself procrastinating, avoid the urge to beat yourself up. Instead, approach your situation with kindness and self-compassion. Understand that everyone struggles with procrastination from time to time, and it's okay to falter. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment, then gently refocus on your goals. Forgiving yourself can lighten the emotional burden, allowing you to move forward with renewed energy. By treating yourself with care and understanding, you create a healthier mindset that encourages productivity and action rather than anxiety and avoidance. Debunking common myths about procrastination. As we embrace these Stoic principles, it's also important to clear up some myths about procrastination. Number 1. Procrastination is not laziness. It's easy to think of procrastination as laziness, but that's rarely the case. Often, procrastination is rooted in fear, anxiety, or perfectionism. Understanding this helps you tackle the real cause instead of labeling yourself negatively. Number 2. Productivity isn't about constant busyness. In today's world, we often confuse productivity with constant activity. The Stoics remind us that true productivity is about meaningful, focused work. It's better to do fewer things with intention than to be busy all the time without purpose. Number 3. Action precedes motivation. We often wait for motivation to strike before we take action, but the Stoics taught that action comes first. Start small, and momentum will follow. Take that first step, even if you don't feel like it. Soon, you'll find the motivation to keep going. Number 4. Procrastination is about emotion, not time. It's not really about time management. Procrastination happens when we avoid the emotions associated with a task, whether that's fear, boredom, or frustration. Once you recognize this, you can manage your emotions and move forward. Real-life examples of Stoicism at work. Let's put these Stoic techniques into real-world scenarios. Number 1. Dealing with a big project. Imagine you have a huge project for school or work, and you don't know where to start. First, break the project into smaller tasks. Focus on what you can control, like your effort and dedication, rather than worrying about the outcome. Reframe the project as a chance to practice wisdom and courage. Number 2. Starting a new business. You might be delaying the launch of a business because you're afraid of failure. Use negative visualization. Imagine the business failing. What would happen? How would you recover? Chances are, you'd still learn valuable lessons. This realization can push you to take that first step. Number 3. Battling social media distraction. We've all been there, about to start a task, only to get sucked into social media. The next time this happens, pause. Take a few deep breaths and refocus on the present moment. Then, remind yourself of your long-term goals and values, and get back to work. And there you have it. Practical Stoic techniques to beat procrastination once and for all. Remember, the key to overcoming procrastination is taking small, consistent steps. Focus on what you can control, live in the present, and don't be afraid of failure. Every day is an opportunity to practice these virtues. So why wait? Start now. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more practical tips to improve your life. Thanks for watching.